Hello, mates. As I've told you earlier in my previous short video, uh, I will going to make a video with some serious topics. So here are my points, and let me give you a brief. Please do listen carefully and circulate it around you for others to know the truth and give their thoughts here. My content mainly referenced from the statements of ex-Jammu and Kashmir Governor Shri Satyapal Malik on the interview with Karan Thapar on the channel The Wire. The Wire is an independent news channel. Um, so I'll just present facts and won't go in much detail. So it will be just to the point only. So let's begin. My first point here is about Pulwama attack, 14th of Feb 2019, where 40 Indian soldiers were killed, or you can say they sacrificed their life. So point here is, whose mistake was that? Who was responsible? Uh, Although I'm not very surprised when I come to know that the mistake was of two parties mainly. In the senior um, senior delegates of the army convoy and the ministry involved here. These are the two parties I'm talking about. Mainly, it was the Home Ministry where a file from the army, uh, the file was related to plane availability for moving large number of soldiers. It's nearly 1,000 soldiers. So the file was pending for 4 months with the Home Ministry, so that and their demand was to arrange plane to move soldiers, but the plane was not provided, and this is one of the reason that this attack could be avoided. Further, the car that hit the army convoy was carrying nearly 300 kg of RDX, and it was roaming nearby for 10 days, and yet no one knows or aware of it. And also, I'm not very sure, but it's very rare that intelligence didn't know, or they were not had any clue of it. Although this much of explosive can be procured locally, and it had clear links with Pakistan, because also during the initial investigation, some proofs were gathered from the car that blasted off, which clearly linked this act of terrorism to Pakistan. But again, the question arises here, could this all had been avoided? And I mean, it could be avoided, but it's a matter of uh, you can think of it. So the other point I want to raise here, it's about the Adani issue. So Adani issue, which came to light broadly to all through Hindenburg report. Adani has used money of public banks and financial institutions like prestigious LIC, where people's hard-earned money is there. The Hindenburg clearly stated about the Adani stock manipulation and accounting fraud, which was nearly 17 trillion Indian rupees. So question arises here is that why the government has not assigned a committee or any special panel or JPC, that is Joint Parliamentary Committee, to investigate on this. And furthermore, importantly, and also it's surprisingly, uh, there's info that government's top leadership money is involved in this. And why there was no press conference or any statement from our PM? Means LIC itself, LIC Life Insurance Corporation of India, it itself estimated to be loss of around 36,000 crore in this. And if we remember about the our opposition leader Rahul Gandhi, he has asked this question number of times: whose money was that? That 20,000 crore that Adani has used. Whose money was that? And no one answered it till date. And we know what happened to Rahul Gandhi after that, after his repeatedly questions to the current government. So it's, I mean, surprisingly, it's a matter of our India. It's respect. It's how we see it. It's kind of deep. We can think of. Okay. The third point is media. The Indian media is, I guess, I can clearly say is mere a puppet of the government and nothing more of it. Uh, Previously, there was a press freedom index ranking, and India's rank was 150 out of 180 countries. And why was that? The same question was asked to the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, and he answered it by, he said there are flaws in the procedure how they calculate the rankings. And that's, I totally disagree with that. Even not me, a number of people disagree with that. All mainstream media channels are just spreading misinformation. And let me tell you here, misinformation means no word or discussion happen on the ground situation related to unemployment, poverty, education, or health, or means how we can improve the people's life, how we can make better education. No one talks about that. There's no debate. It's just Hindu Muslim most of the time. A company conducted a survey on media content and revealed that, except just a few channels, all mainstream channels are showing Hindu Muslim more than 40% of the time. Means they are completely misguiding the common people about the issues where the government totally failed. So right now I've just covered 3 points here, although there are number of points and number of thoughts I have in my head that I want to discuss, but it just take very long time, and it's just a matter of thought. Means uh, what's the true face of the current government? People should ask this question and should stand unitedly, like an example. If we see people gathered in means in lakhs in Israel and France recently against the government. And why this has not mean why this could not be done in India? Well, I'm not totally against the current government, but there are certain statistics in that I don't like. So, guys, that's all for now. I have. Um, if you have listened this, thanks so much. That's all. Bye.